What's going on, YouTube? This is Captain Fire coming at you with the next episode of the Snaps on Fire podcast, where we are going to be discussing our favorite things about Marvel Snap from 2023, kind of breaking down the first full year of the game, as well as looking forward to the future of Marvel Snap in 2024 and what we hope for to see in this game that we all love. We'll also be discussing the Spotlight caches coming up for January in the new Planet Hulk season, and talk about what we think those cards will be like and which ones you should go for with your resources. And then lastly, we'll be discussing Selene and her impact on the game since her release this week. But of course, with me as always is my co-host, Hulkbuster62. Hulkbuster, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. Hey, everybody. Just really enjoying this time off from work and looking forward to a great new year with Marvel Snap, especially this new season pass coming out in January. It looks really cool and it's the Hulk, so it's my favorite Marvel character, so I'm really looking forward to that.
And it's really weird that Hulk is your favorite character since your name is Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
I always thought that, but can you tell us why Hulkbuster and not Hulk 62?
Well, it was a long time ago. I think it was on the Xbox when I had to make my very first gamer tag. And I remember I had just finished reading a comic series called The Hulkbusters, where they were a group of like SHIELD agents, and the Hulk led them. And I remember I was like, oh yeah, the Hulkbusters, and then that's how my gamer tag came around. But
nice.
Yeah, so it's a deep one there for that name.
Very cool. Well, it'll be a perfect season for you next season then. Briefly, before we get into our main topics, I wanted to just talk about some news in the game. So right now, currently, we are they're still running Twitch drops. So for anyone who hasn't done it yet, it's pretty simple to sign up. You just have to create a Twitch account, which is free. And then you link it with your Marvel Snap in-game account. Once you've done that, you just need to watch up to 6 hours of Twitch. And Hulkbuster, what do we get from that?
Pulling it up here, it looks like for the 2 hours, you get some boosters. And then after 4 hours, you get credits. It's 350 credits. And after 6 hours of watching, you get a mystery variant.
Pretty cool. So everyone get ready for a pixel variant there. But I mean, that actually kind of good, because the second piece of news I wanted to go over actually was there has been, and I didn't even tell you about this, but there has been some data mines with the new patch, and it looks like there's going to be 2 new albums coming to the game. We don't know what the rewards are going to be for them yet, but I'm getting this information from snap.fan, and it looks like the first one is going to be a Pixel X-Men album, which is pretty cool. So anybody who has the pixelized X-Men characters, it looks like Jean Grey, Magneto, Psylocke, Wolverine, Storm, Polaris, Rogue, White Queen, Mystique, Professor X, which is the greatest pixel variant of all time other than MODOK, Nightcrawler, and Cable are going to be in that one. So if you have those, looks like that's going to be a new album. And then the other one's going to be a steampunk album, and it has Armor, Bishop, Cerebro, Destroyer, Falcon, Ghost, Hulkbuster, there you go, Moon Girl, Quinjet, Shocker, the Infinite, and Viper are going to be in that one. So pretty interesting. 2 new albums there coming to the game. And then lastly, I wanted to discuss the series drops coming. Do you have those pulled up, Hulkbuster?
For next month, yes, I do.
All right, could you go over those series drops with us?
Yeah, let me bring it up on screen here. We have the series drops coming. Let me go here. Oh, they don't put them in order. They just kind of
I
One
have them.
second.
I have them up. If you can't find them, I can start. How about I go over Series 3 cards
No,
going to Series 3?
I found them. I
Oh, you
clicked
got
on
them?
the
Okay,
wrong one.
cool.
All
All
right,
right,
so you
sweet.
can just clip everything up to 5 seconds from now.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I got them here, got them up and running. So we got our drop series from three, or from 4 to 3. We have Master Mold, Spider-Man 2099, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Stature, and Stegron. So those are all dropping from Series 4 down to Series 3.
Nice.
So you'll be able to get them in the shop if you don't have them yet for the discounted credits there in that one slot.
And a
That's
couple
been
good
empty.
cards in there.
Yeah, yeah, some
I
good
think
ones.
Master Mold's kind of on the rise now that um, we have the buff to
Ronin.
Ronin, and then Negasonic has kind of been a pretty clutch card as of late. She's kind of like a reverse uh, Eliath, and so I think both of those pretty decent cards going down into Series 3. I'm excited for it. Negasonic's one of the few cards. I think I looked recently. I'm missing 7 cards in the game, and Negasonic is one of them. And so I'll be able to claim her for my free Series 3 card, which is pretty cool. Are you missing any of those?
I am missing Master Mold, and that's about it. I was gonna say I got Stegron last week.
Yeah.
With the Blob week. And honestly, man, even though they nerfed Professor X, it's a real sneaky play to go Stegron and then Professor X right on top of him. That's 7 power. So
Yeah.
unless the player knows your opponent knows what's coming, you win a hole in, and it's pretty fun to just move people's stuff out of the way.
Yeah, not a bad thing. I love moving cards with Stegron. I think it's one of the most fun mechanics in the game, to just slap that card over there with his tail.
Yeah.
And then what do we have coming for into Series 4?
Yeah, from dropping from Series 5 down to Series 4, we have Howard the Duck, Ghost Spider, Kitty Pryde, Silver Samurai, Echo, Echo, Phoenix Force, Hitmonkey, Lady Deathstrike, and Dakin? Or is it Dakin?
Dakin. It's Dakin. So, yeah, pretty cool there. Obviously, some really good cards in this one. When you think about Hitmonkey, actually, I'd say after some nerfs, I wouldn't say any of these are like top tier cards, but I mean, Hitmonkey is still really good. Echo is, I think, one of the better counter cards in the game. Ghost Spider, Kitty Pryde, really good 1-drops. And then Dakin, Phoenix Force, Deathstrike, I think all have like some fun uses. But for the most part, yeah, it's nice to have some more cards coming down into Series 4 as well. I don't think it's really going to change very much with the way that Spotlight caches work. I mean, it will, if you want to use tokens on these cards, it will be a little bit cheaper. But for the most part, yeah, I think more exciting for those cards going into Series 3, I think, especially for free-to-play players.
Yeah, definitely. I really like I mean, a lot of these cards I mostly have, but yeah, Echo stands out. She's just a really good counter that people just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But some of those season pass cards, like you just said, Kitty Pryde, Ghost Spider, Phoenix Force, Hitmonkey, Dakin, or Dakin. I'm never gonna be able to say his name right, but
It's okay.
all those cards are really good. I mean, not bad for the price. I think the ones that stand out the most, if you don't have them, would be Ghost Spider, Kitty Pryde, Hitmonkey, and Echo. If we went top 4.
Yeah, I would say that. I'm excited for Howard the Duck because I feel like, especially with Captain, with what's her name? Not Captain Marvel. America Chavez getting her rework. We have enough cards now that affect the top card of the deck that I feel like that she's actually gonna, like, he will actually be more useful. You could make kind of like a top card
Yeah.
themed deck with like Howard, Iron Lad, America Chavez, and Jubilee, something like that, you know. So good synergies there. But yeah, so that's about it for the news. So we're just kind of reiterate, we got the Twitch drops still running until January 2nd. We have the series drops coming, and then those new albums that have been in the data mines. We don't know when those are coming to the game yet, but kind of cool to see, especially the Pixel one. Nice that they're throwing everybody a bone there. So let's get into our main topic for today, and it is top 5 things that we really liked from Marvel Snap from 2023, and we're gonna just kind of go into what we've thought have been the highlights of this first full year of the game. And Hulkbuster, this is kind of unrehearsed. We don't really have many notes for this, obviously. So, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the easiest one.
Okay.
But Conquest.
Conquest. Okay. Yeah, Conquest. I think that Conquest has definitely been a fun part of the game.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so? Would you put that as your number 5 favorite thing about?
No, I'd put it way up higher on the list. I think it's one of the biggest changes done this year to the game as a whole. Not only adding something, different game mode, but also the way it opened it up for like streamers and content creators to be able to make so much more content to make the game more popular. So I think it was a huge change for the game. So I might say it might even be number 1, really.
Yeah,
in terms of how much it changed the game, I put it up there at number 1.
Yeah, I would probably say as well. Conquest has been the biggest change, or the best change to the game. Kind of, I guess you could put Friendly Battle in there as well, kind of Conquest 1.0. Friendly Battle was, I think, a huge part of the game's growth at the beginning of the year. I remember when that came out, we did a tournament with just our group of friends, and we've done a lot of friendly battles against each other, obviously, as well. So I think that's definitely been in there as well. So I would say maybe like Conquest number 1, Friendly Battles number 2. What would you say?
Yeah, I think so. Number 1, number 2. They're just makes so much content for, it's all about content nowadays, really.
Yeah.
Like giving players the availability they need to create more and more content to make the game more popular. That's how all the big games nowadays, make their money, really, is through all the content that creators make, brings more people to the game, makes them spend more money. So yeah, 1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah, and I think, I would put in there Spotlight caches. I would definitely say would be number 2 for me. I know that's controversial for a lot of people. Some people still don't like the Spotlight caches, and I get it. But I think for the most part, if you use your resources wisely, Spotlight caches are far superior to the card acquisition we had at the beginning of the year. I remember when the token shop first came out in, I think it was December, I pinned Galactus, and it wasn't until like February that I had enough tokens to get him. And that was with the previous way of acquiring tokens where you got more and you got them more frequently. It took me forever to get Galactus, and that was my first ever purchase in there. And then it took me forever to get the next card too, because I wasn't Series 3 complete yet. And so I feel like that was a pretty tough way of acquiring cards. So I think whenever they release Spotlight caches, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've got way more cards. I was just thinking about in the last 2 seasons, so this season and last season.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think last season, what was last season? I can't even remember.
Last season was Miss Marvel.
Okay, Miss Marvel. So yeah, the Miss Marvel season. I think it was who were the cards that came out that it was Martyr.
For February.
Yeah, not for February.
Oh, December. You're right.
No, November.
I'm going way back.
November.
November?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're in December. I'm already in January, man. I'm already in that Hulk season.
Yeah, let me see. I'll open it up too. So I think in January, let's see, schedule. I'll pull it up right here. Or in November. Um,
Spotlights. You want to do spotlight caches, right? That's what you're talking.
yeah,
We can just cut this. Okay, I have December 19th. Oh wait, no.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't see it on there either. So we can kind
I
of,
got
I guess,
November. I got November.
you got November.
Okay, so
Okay.
give me a countdown, then we'll start.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so I found November spotlights. Had to dig a little here on Marvel Snap Zone. But let's see. The first week of November, we had Eliath, Null, and Negasonic.
Yeah. And so, what were the other ones though? Like, what were the new cards that came out that month?
Oh, the new cards were Eliath, Gladiator, Annihilus, and Martyr.
Well, Eliath wasn't. I don't think Eliath was new. He
Oh, he wasn't. He was
from,
just
yeah,
that
he was from the
week's.
Loki season. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So yeah, so it's Gladiator, Martyr,
Annihilus
and
and Martyr.
Annihilus. Yeah. So between that season and this season, the only card that I've missed has been Havoc.
Ah,
And
nice.
the only I think I've probably spent. I bought the season passes, and then I probably spent about like $20 extra on the game.
Oh man.
So probably I've spent like $40 in the last 2 months, and I've got four. Well, counting the season pass cards, that's two, and then three, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got like 7 cards in the last 2 months for spending $40. I mean, that's not that bad at all compared to how it used to be. And I think the season before that, I even got most of the cards. So it's been, I would say it's definitely been a pretty good pretty good feature has been the card acquisition with the spotlight caches. What would you say?
Yeah, yeah. I love the feature. It's great. I feel like you said, I'm getting way more cards now than before. As a day one player, I mean, it was a real grind to get anything in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just chance. You just would have to chance, hope that you open that one cache that would give you the right card. But
Yeah.
now being able to pick and choose is great. I mean, you just have to know your play style. I feel like knowing what you are gonna play, what play style you are, be it control, discard, destroy, and just kind of waiting, saving your keys for that week with the right cards that you need. I think really that's the way to go. But I love it. I think it's a great way. Could have used some tweaking to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, but I think they're headed in the right direction with the way it's set up right now.
I agree. And then I think for me, the next thing I would put maybe number 4. I may even would put this number 3 and put spotlights as number 4. But I think the OTAs have been one of the best things about this
OTAs,
game.
yeah.
Um,
I've
I
never
think
seen that before, honestly.
it's been amazing. I think
It's been really cool. Like,
yeah,
playing other games where big changes, you have to wait for a massive update for just to change little things. Being able to have that OTA, not only just the whole concept of it, but the way it keeps the meta changing, it's just awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely been. I feel like it's been one of the best parts about this game. Glenn Jones, the guy who is in charge of all of those tweaks on the OTAs, he's been a huge asset to the game this year. And just, do you remember last year from like December till like almost February? The game, unless you use Zabu Silver Surfer, you couldn't win. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. That was
it
the
was
worst.
yeah, and so for like a month and a half, it was just the meta was Silver Surfer or Zabu, and if you
Yeah,
weren't using one of those two cards, then you would
you're
lose.
you were screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
so this
remember
year,
because I
I'm
just
sorry.
remember because I always try to fight the meta as much as I can, and that was a horrible month.
Yeah.
It was
Mm,
horrible.
yeah. And this year, since the OTAs, like later on in the year, uh, you look at Loki. Like he was a big aspect of the game for about a month, and then more Mobius came out, and then they adjusted Loki, and now it's like he's still a really good deck, but there's clear counters to it, and it's just like it wasn't like that, and so yeah, definitely a big change has been those OTAs. What would you say your fifth favorite thing about Marvel Snap for this year has been?
I just had it here. What I was gonna say, I was gonna teasingly say the wave nerf, but I do miss my old Death Wave deck a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Rest in peace for that
oh,
deck.
the store. That's what I was gonna say. The new variant store or
Yeah,
shop.
yeah,
I think
that's
that's a huge change, really.
yeah, and adding the collector's tokens to that too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would agree, and just the albums. I think everything they've done with variants this year. The only thing we're missing is still. They said that they're going to tweak the ultimate variants to make those a little bit more enticing to get, and so hopefully we'll see the tweaks on those soon. But yeah, I think definitely variants just as a whole, I think they've been knocking it out of the park with the way they've been releasing variants. I think they need to do more of the shop takeovers or more of the. We haven't seen one of the variant rushes in a long time. I don't know if they're just stopped doing them or if they're holding off. But do you remember like when they did the steampunk variant
Oh
rush?
yeah, and you would just have to open a ton of caches and
Yeah, you would have a
see if you
chance of
know.
getting. Yeah, I like that was really cool. I would love to see that again in the game.
Yeah, I think you
Um,
got two that time, right? On that steampunk.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
I think I got Yellow Jacket, and I also got Bishop, which that's still my favorite Bishop in the game for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think yeah, variants as a whole I think would be number five. I've loved what they've done with them. The Conquest variant has been nice to have a new variant in there that's exclusive every month. Um, the Spotlight variants are cool. Yeah, I think overall this variants as well, number five. So you have anything else to say on this before we go to the next topic?
No, I mean, all I can say really is these changes are just improving the experience of the game as a whole. And I think
Yeah,
that's important, especially to help a game grow and not only grow but compete with the other popular games. And
yeah,
I think Marvel Snaps, the team there, is doing a really good job, and I'm excited to see more changes coming up. So I'm really hoping, hopefully next year we can get a new game mode,
yeah.
something fun
Well,
like
wait, before you say that, that's what we're going to go into for the next topic.
okay.
Is what we're hoping for 2024. So why don't we start with that, a new game mode. So what is your idea that the next game mode should be? Because I already have, I think, my idea set in place. So what is your idea?
Well, I think it's called Arena Mode, is what it's
Mm-hmm.
called. I know Hearthstone had it when I played Hearthstone, and that was fun because for those of you who aren't familiar with the concept, is you kind of go in with a set amount of cards.
Okay.
So you would pick. I remember in Hearthstone, they give you like three separate options, and it was like three different play styles. So
Mm-hmm.
you could go like discard, ongoing, or destroy. And then after every win that you would play it against a computer, after every win, they will let you add more cards to that deck.
Hmm.
So your pool would grow in a way, and you'd be able
Okay.
to add more cards, more abilities, and so your every tier you went up, the opponent would get stronger, but your deck would also change to adapt, and that was really fun. So hopefully something like that comes to Marvel Snap. That'd
Yeah,
be really fun.
that would be really cool, and they could do it like through the whole season. Like have like a, say like there's 100 enemies that you have to fight, like, and then you just slowly like progress through it and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Um, I think like I'm thinking a competitive mode, like a PVE mode would be really cool, like that. Something maybe like a raid. I think a raid would be really cool where there's like like maybe like one boss or something. I don't know how you would do it, but I think a
Yeah.
raid would be kind of cool. But I think the biggest game mode that I would like to see is draft mode. I think draft mode
Oh
would
yeah,
be
draft.
so cool, and they could do like they could take like so when you're playing against somebody, like I have this idea where like it shows you like it'll take like 50 cards, like random cards from each player's collection that are the same. So like and it randomizes it before the match starts. So it like goes in, it makes 50 cards go in there, and then you and your opponent have time like 30 seconds to like select which card you want. And then those as the you pick a card, they remove like a few cards in there as well. And so like it gets down to where there's like 2 cards left, and you're hoping that you get the last or the second to last pick, so you can decide. But something like that I think would be really fun. Um, and so I think that would be probably one of the best PvP modes in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it'd be really sweet to have a mode like that, and also, um, just how many more people would play the game, you know?
Yeah.
So the growth of the game, and or
Mm-hmm.
there might even be people out there who left for whatever reason and got bored of the game. That they might come back. So
Yeah, and if they did it well, they could even do separate like add that into friendly battle as well. I think that's where you should start it. Is start it in friendly battle, tweak it, and then create like a new mode, like competitive mode, like conquest. I probably imagine that by in the next like 5 years, if as this game continues, we'll have probably like 5 or 6 different modes. Like I'm guessing probably every year we're gonna get a new game mode. So yeah, definitely I think PV like a draft mode would probably be my pick. But I would love to an arena mode, some sort of PVE uh, content, player versus event or computer, like that.
yeah,
That would be really cool as well. So yeah, they have a lot of potential. So I'd love to see. Hopefully, we'll hear about a new game mode early next year, like we did with Conquest. So um, next, I think the next thing I'm really hoping for next year is some sort of social mode, like guilds or things like that, where you can even like donate boosters to people, or um, like chat with your friends in there. Uh, Kind of goes into a another thing, but another game mode, but they could do like a two versus two game mode, like 2 players, like where you're teamed up with somebody, like say in your guild, and you fight against 2 other random players, and you share the board, and you each can only bring in 6 cards, something like that. That would be really cool.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
sweet.
so, what do you think about like adding social features like that to the game?
I think it'd be neat. I think it'd be cool to have like maybe ways to share your variants or just chat in the game. But you got
Yeah,
to be careful with those too, because they can, how you manage them. Um, they're gonna have to be really careful. Just because I've been in games where they added that feature of guilds and stuff, and the power creep went like crazy.
yeah.
So, you'd have to be careful not to basically bring in like a toxic aspect to the game.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want that, but I think that there's a lot of good ways they could do it to add to the game's growth as well, and just to make it more fun to play with your friends. Because I mean,
Yeah.
friendly battle is fun, but we need more stuff to engage with as like for people that play the game, like friend groups in real life and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Is there anything else you're looking forward to next year
Just
or
some
hoping for?
sweet variants. Variants keep them coming. We love them.
Any
Um,
character that you want to see?
ooh, yeah, that's a good question. Character, I like. Well, you know me, I love the Hulk. So one of my
Yeah.
favorite Hulk characters is A-Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
He's a blue Hulk. He's actually I forget his name, but in the original comics, when Bruce Banner saves a young man from the atomic bomb,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the young guy, I forget his name. I have like a horrible memory with names. Um, let me see if I can look it up real quick. But anyways, he ends up getting Hulk powers,
Hmm.
and his is really cool. He's like blue and scaly. Rick Jones, that's his name. Rick
Hmm.
Jones. So he becomes this like cool youthful Hulk, and his ability, he can like roll up into a ball like an armadillo almost, and like
Wow.
hit things. That'd be pretty cool. I just want to see
Yeah.
all the Hulks. Red Hulk, green. We have She Hulk already, but like a red
Hmm.
She Hulk, Doc Samson, all the Hulk characters. I'm just a Hulk lover, so that'd be cool to see more Hulk characters. So I'm gonna say I hope we can get 2 more Hulk characters next year.
Well, we know we're getting a lot more Hulk characters, so
Yeah,
I could definitely see them adding some more. I think that Captain America movie is supposed to come out next year, and I'm guessing I know there's going to be Hulk characters in there, so maybe we'll get Red Hulk. Maybe when the Thunderbolts movie comes out. Um, but yeah, I could see that. I think for me, a character I would really, really love to see. Um, Captain America is my favorite character from Marvel, and so hopefully, first of all, I hope they rework Captain America, make him a top tier card in the game. I think he is one of the most recognizable characters, and you look at characters like Iron Man, one of the best cards in the game. Black Widow has got updates to make her a lot better. Hulk, one of the best cards in the game, especially after High Evo, and Thor has been pretty good. And then with like, there's been decks where Thor is like a really good part of those decks, and with Beta Ray Bill coming out next year, he's going to be more valuable. So I think either add a card to make Captain America better, or just rework Captain America, or give us a new Captain America. But then I also would love to see either Peggy Carter or Captain Britain, one of those two characters of her, um, to come to the game, because I think that she's a really big part of Captain America's story, and I think that she definitely should be in the game as a card.
yeah, that'd be sweet.
So
Some reworks would be sweet too.
yeah, we definitely need some reworks, or uh, maybe like some new, like a new type of card. We've kind of talked about it, but in multiple games, there's kind of like leader cards, or like like the One Piece trading card game. You've been a fan of that, and there's kind of like a leader to the deck. Or in like I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, another mobile game, and there's Galactic Legends that are like the strongest characters in the game. I would love to see like a new type of card where it's like you can only have one per deck, and maybe it even like closes down like some of the deck building, like you can't put certain cards in there. But it would be really cool to see like ultimate cards come to the game, like some sort of like ultimate card or master rank card or something, like, and you could make kind of the original characters. That would be kind of a way that you could rework some of them, like maybe make Captain America with Thor's hammer, like with Mjolnir, like Cap and Mjolnir or something like that.
Yeah,
Like a way to make some of these cards better, like the ultimate form of these cards, you know.
that'd be cool.
So like Giant Hulk from, do you remember from the 2003 Hulk movie where he turns like 15 feet tall or something like that and destroys the building? Like it's stuff like that. Like I think that'd be pretty cool. Thor with Stormbreaker, like,
Yeah,
so.
some variants, but like with new powers. I think
Yeah,
down
exactly.
the road, they'll do that. You just
So I
have
think,
to.
yeah. So I think that gets us pretty much done with what we're hoping for 2024. So now let's discuss the other thing that I have on the thumbnail, which you can't see yet, but which is Scar and the new cards and new season coming to Marvel Snap. So I have it pulled up. I'll go ahead real quick and talk about the spotlights first, and then why don't we discuss each card quickly and our thoughts on them. So far, this is what the spotlights are. We saw a change really quickly, because remember, Blob was supposed to be in the first spotlight cache, but they ended up moving it. So I don't know if they're going to change this or not, but right now they've already changed this. Right now it's starting January 2nd to January 9th, which is next week, 6 days, 1 hour away. We have Kyera, High Evo, Nebula as the first spotlight, And then for January 9th to January 16th, we have Hercules. So 2 new cards in a row. We got Kyra week 1, then Hercules week 2. Then Howard the Duck, his first spotlight appearance, which is pretty cool. He'll be series dropped by then as well. So he'll be a series 4 card. And then Werewolf by Night, back in the spotlight again. And then January 16th through the 23rd, we have Meek, Annihilus, and Phoenix Force. And so that's going to be an interesting week. I know Meek is going to be a really big card for discard. I think he moves and gains power every time you discard a card, so he's going to be interesting. Then we have 2 more weeks still in January season. January 23rd to the 30th, we have Grandmaster, Loki, and Hitmonkey. So, and we'll get in what these cards do in a minute, but I think that's probably going to be one of the best weeks. This is probably going to be the second best week that I'm about to read too. Beta Ray Bill, this is January 30th through the February 6th. Beta Ray Bill, Galactus, and Elsa Bloodstone. And so a lot of good cards coming out next month. Why don't we talk about them? Do you have the cards pulled up, or you want to go ahead and give us the description of these new cards, Hulkbuster?
Yeah. For all of these cards, I got them up here.
Maybe if you can start with Scar as well, the season pass card.
Yeah, we got Scar here. He's a 6/11, and it's cost 2 less for each of your cards that has 10 or more power.
Nice.
So I can see him being really good with like a Hella deck. All those big cards in there, dropping him down to maybe like a 4 or even a 3. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Then we have Kyra. Her ongoings. Your 1 and 6 cost cards can't be destroyed.
That is gonna be huge. She's gonna be one of the best cards in the game, I think.
Yeah, and I believe, if I remember correctly, I think she's the Hulk's wife in World War Hulk. She's Scar's mom.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. Some more Hulk characters, which I guess I said I wanted at least 2 more Hulk characters next year, and they're already pumping out all these Hulk characters.
I know. Well, World War Hulk is definitely one of the best. Definitely
Hulk storylines. Oh yeah, top tier. So then we have Hercules. He's a 4/6, and his ability says the first time another card moves here each turn, move it to another location.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna be. I'm like,
yeah, he's just gonna fly all over the place. I mean, I guess he'd be good for like, what's his name, Craven.
But I definitely feel like that he's gonna be a worse version of Silk, just because of his cost as a 4/6. Like, I think he needs a little bit more power. I'm not very excited for Hercules, honestly.
Yeah.
Then what about Grandmaster?
Oh, we still got one more though. We got Meek.
Oh yeah, Meek.
Meek the Bug. He's from World War Hulk as well. 1/1, and it says after each turn, if you discarded any cards, gain +1 power for each and move. Nice. I think this is good. I mean, you think about it in your average discard deck. You put him down. Then you got like you can put a Blade down. Boom, he becomes a 2. Then you put down, your Lady Sifs, your Sword Knights, your Sword Masters, and then that turn 5 MODOK. He's just moving all over the board. If you have a full hand of like 5 cards, he instantly gets +5 that turn, and he's just insane.
Yeah, well, think about this too. If you have a deck where your only 6 cost card is Apocalypse, so think about like an Apocalypse deck. Think about this play line. You play Meek turn 1, then you play Morbius turn 2, then you play Lady Sif turn 3, discard Apocalypse. Now he's 12 power. Meek's gonna move. Morbius is gonna get the +2. Then you play Dracula turn 4, and then you play with Swarm in your hand. You play MODOK turn 5. You're gonna discard. You've played you're probably going to discard about 4 or 5 cards there. So Meek's going to
Mhm.
move and gain like tons of power. And then you just drop your swarms, whatever you draw on turn 6, and leave Apocalypse in your hand. Boom. He's going to get discarded. I don't think, though, it says that after each turn. So I don't know if after Dracula, if he would go off. That's going to be interesting to see. Because Dracula happens at the end of the game. So it may work still, though. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a pretty good card, I think, for discard lovers. And then what about Grandmaster?
Grandmaster, he's a 2/0. And it says on reveal, move one of your other on reveal cards here to the middle location. Its ability happens again.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
just simply one of the best cards in the game.
I see a lot of play for him. You know, Ravona makes him a 1 cost.
Yep, or Mr. Negative makes him a 0.
Or Mr. Negative, yep.
Yep.
So, I'm excited for that week. That week's going to be crazy. Lots of cool decks coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely time to stock up on your Cosmo stocks.
Dude, imagine him with... I think what I am super excited about, I'm saving up for Grandmaster and Beta Ray Bill next season. Those are the two, and we haven't talked about Beta Ray Bill. Can you talk about him real quick? And then I'll tell you what I'm excited about.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill, he's a 4/5 with the ability on reveal, shuffle Stormbreaker into your deck. And let me look at Stormbreaker. Let me see, I'm gonna click on this card here. Stormbreaker 0/1, and it's on reveal, double Beta Ray's Bill's power.
Okay, so he's gonna be nuts. And here's what I'm thinking. So he's a 4. You got Grandmaster as a 2. So if you play like if you play either Zabu, or if you play Ravona, or if you play Psylocke, one of those 3 cards, and get Beta Ray Bill out early, and if you could possibly get Thor out there too somehow, then you could play... You may need a magic for this, but you could play Grandmaster and trigger either Beta Ray or Thor, get their double hammers, and then play Jane Foster turn 5. And then you're gonna have... If you have, like, I love that Hit Monkey deck where you play like all the 0 cost cards and Hit Monkey on the last turn. Dude, that deck could go bananas with Beta Ray Bill and Thor. Like honestly, even if you didn't get Grandmaster, if you just play Thor, Beta Ray Bill, then Jane Foster, and then on turn 6 you drop like Hit Monkey with Mysterio and all the 0 cost cards, like holy moly, that's gonna be a crazy deck. Like, yeah, I'm super excited for Beta Ray Bill and Grandmaster. I think they're gonna make the Jane Foster deck one of the best decks in the game. Yeah,
that deck. We might even see Lockjaw coming back into play. I miss those old Lockjaw days.
Yeah,
just the randomness, but also when you know what cards are sitting in your deck still, it's just beautiful. Like surprising your opponent.
Mm-hmm. So let's real quick go through Spotlight weeks. We have 5 for next month. So what do you think are going to be the what would you say are going to be the weeks to go for? So we got Kyera, High Evo, and Nebula week 1. I feel like that's a 5-star.
That's top tier. Yeah, like, High Evo, Broken.
If you don't have one of those 2 cards already, High Evo or Nebula, like. And Kyera is going to be so good. That's just definitely top tier.
Do it. There. Just do it. Yeah. Just spend all your keys.
Yep. And then you have Hercules, Howard the Duck, Werewolf. I think that's the weakest week, especially with Werewolf's nerf that he just got. I feel like that's the weakest week out of the season. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree. And if you want Howard, you can wait. Get him in your store.
Well, he's a Series 4. He's gonna be a Series 4 now.
Yeah, wait for him. Buy him in your store.
I do love his variant, the Infinity Gauntlet variant. That looks hilarious. But let's go to week 3 was Meek, Annihilus, Phoenix Force. I think that's probably a 4-star week. Phoenix Force, I would, or maybe
Phoenix
four and a half.
Force.
I think it's a
Yeah.
4.5 maybe, because Annihilus is a 5-star card, and then you look at Meek and Phoenix Force. I think that those are at low end a 3.5, but probably both more like Meek. I think is probably going to end up being closer to like a 4-star card, and Phoenix Force is probably also 4-star. What would you say?
Yeah, same. I agree.
Yeah, so
Four
that,
star.
I think that's a pretty good no-brainer week if you don't have those cards yet. Um, January 23rd through the 30th is Grandmaster Loki Hitmonkey. We already discussed it. What do you think about that week?
That week for Grandmaster, I'm giving Grandmaster a 5-star.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you want to stay with the meta, you're gonna want to go crazy on that week.
Yeah, and Hitmonkey, Loki, both really good
Still
season
good.
pass cards.
Yeah, still good.
They're both nerfed, but they're both still have very good uses. So I would say,
Oh yeah,
that's a week you should go. I would say that's a 4-star week, 4.5-star week too. Like, and then the last week of the season, you have Beta Ray Bill, Galactus, Elsa, Bloodstone. Now Elsa's clearly not as good anymore.
Nope.
Galactus clearly not as good anymore, and Beta Ray Bill I feel like is gonna be kind of a niche card. Like, he's gonna work really well in the Jane Foster Lockjaw decks, but other than that, I don't see him being like a super great card. He's kind of like a different version of Dakin. So
yeah, I give him like a 3.5. Yeah, like a solid 3.5 stars.
Yeah,
like,
so
he's gonna have his decks where he's just amazing.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be games where you never get to double him up, and he's just sitting there, you know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 4 or 5, not the best stat line, not the worst either, but yeah, definitely I would say that would be more like a 3.5-star week. I'm still really looking forward to Beta Ray Bill, but yeah, so it sounds like weeks we're recommending are the Kyera, I would say Kyera number 1, Grandmaster number 2, and Meek number 3, and then Beta Ray 4, and then I would just say skip Hercules unless you really just want to play that card. But yeah, so I think the last thing we were going to talk about briefly was Selene. You don't have her yet.
I do not. No, I don't. I ran out of keys last week.
Yeah.
So I'm all dried up.
So I got her, and I'll say I haven't found a deck I love her in yet. I tried this Galactus deck with her where you play Ravonna Renslayer and try to get the goblins out and then play Galactus, and you can play Selene and Annihilus in that deck too. That one's kind of fun. I'm building a bounce deck. I haven't really got to play it yet, but I call it Sledge Bomb, an homage to Pokemon, but it's where you basically you bounce all the one cost. Like, I put like the most toxic 1-cost cards. I think I put Selene, the Hood, Iceman, and Spider-Ham. I think are the cards that I put in that deck. And so then you try to bounce them back with Falcon, and then on the last turn you play like all those cards again, or on turn 5 you play all those cards again, and then you play like Annihilus and drop with like the demon, and you drop all the cards over. So I haven't tried it yet, but I think that she'll be pretty decent in that deck. But overall, I would say if you don't love Toxic, I don't think that she's very good. And even with Toxic, I don't think that she's going to be a make or break card for that. Annihilus is much more important. So I would give Selene like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, Selene, she's good. She's a 3 of 5, 3. She has her again. She's one of those. She has her places in the deck. She's not going to destroy the meta. But she definitely is an improvement to a lot of staple decks. So solid 3.
Yeah, I think so. So, anyways, that I guess is our episode for this week. So, next week, we will be the new season. We have the new balance patch coming out. which is going to be the big one. Hopefully, we'll get an announcement on something new coming to the game. And then also, just look forward to doing the next podcast and for all you guys to be able to engage with us here. Thanks for listening, everybody. As always, I'm Captain Fire.
I'm Hulkbuster.
And stay on fire with Marvel Snap. Snaps on fire. All right, bye.